If you know anyone who needs this message today, please share it. You never know how a simple act of kindness can help someone start their journey toward healing. Anxiety and depression often feel like invisible weights, pulling you down without mercy. They distort the way you see yourself and the world around you, feeding a narrative that says, "You are broken," or "You'll never get better." But this is a lie. Both anxiety and depression are not who you are. They are experiences. They are emotional states, conditioned patterns of thought, and biochemical responses. But they do not define you. You are not your anxiety. You are not your depression. These are simply chapters in your story, not the entire book. And the power to rewrite the narrative, that lies within you. To begin rising above anxiety and depression, the first step is to shift how you perceive them. These feelings are not your identity, but responses to your environment, your thoughts, and your past. What often makes anxiety and depression feel inescapable is the belief that you are trapped in them forever. But here is the most important truth. You are never stuck. You are not bound by your past, and you are not defined by the challenges you face today. Change is always possible. It may not be easy, and it may take time, but it is always possible. You can shift your perception of yourself, and in doing so, shift your entire life. It's crucial to recognize that your brain is wired to protect you. It reacts to stress, fear, and past traumas in a way that can manifest as these overwhelming emotions. But your brain is also capable of change. It can be rewired, recalibrated, and transformed. This is the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. You have the power to rewire your mind, to change the very structure of your thoughts and beliefs, to make space for healing, love, and new opportunities. This means even if you've been living with anxiety and depression for years, your brain is always capable of change. You are capable of change. Even the darkest moments are a moment of potential. Your pain is not your identity. It is an invitation to grow and evolve. The core of both anxiety and depression lies in how you view yourself. If you consistently see yourself as inadequate, incapable, or unworthy, those beliefs reinforce the negative emotions. Changing your perception starts with a simple yet powerful practice: self-awareness. Start by identifying the negative thoughts and beliefs you hold about yourself. These thoughts may sound like, "I am not enough," "I can't handle this," "I will never get better." These are distorted, learned beliefs that have taken hold over time, often based on past experiences or societal pressures. But they are not facts. They are simply patterns that can be unlearned. The process of healing begins with recognizing these thoughts for what they are: temporary, conditioned responses, and choosing to challenge them. When the voice in your head says, "You're not good enough," counter it with, "I am enough and I am worthy of peace." Over time, with repetition, you begin to train your mind to think differently. This is the moment you take back your power, the moment you realize that you are not your thoughts. But there's another critical part of the process: stopping the cycle of victimhood. Too often, anxiety and depression can make us feel like victims of our circumstances, of the past, of things that were beyond our control. And when we perceive ourselves as victims, we surrender our power. We give away our ability to change, heal, and grow. The ego thrives in this victim mindset. It feeds on the belief that I am powerless, that life has happened to me, that there's nothing I can do. The ego finds comfort in playing the victim because it validates feelings of self-pity, frustration, and helplessness. This ego-driven self-pity traps us in a cycle of suffering. But the truth is, as long as you see yourself as a victim, you'll stay stuck in the pain. When you stop identifying as a victim, when you step into your own power and take responsibility for your emotions and actions, you begin to change the perception of yourself. This is when healing begins. This shift, this realization that you hold the key to your transformation, is the most liberating truth you'll ever come to know. It is within your ability to rise from the ashes. Your soul is stronger than you think, and every moment of suffering holds the seed of growth. Healing is not about perfection. It's about the willingness to rise again and again, no matter how many times you've fallen. Self-compassion is an essential part of breaking free from the ego's grip. A huge part of overcoming anxiety and depression is breaking free from the relentless inner critic, the voice that constantly tells you that you're not doing enough, you're failing, or you're unworthy. This inner critic feeds into your self-doubt and fuels the cycle of negativity. To counter this, you must cultivate self-compassion. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend who is struggling. It means accepting that you are human, that you will make mistakes, and that you deserve love and patience, not harsh judgment. You need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you felt you weren't good enough, for the mistakes you made, for not living up to your own expectations. It's part of the soul's journey. No one is perfect, and no one has a flawless path. Mistakes are a natural part of growth. When you let go of self-blame and allow yourself the grace to be human, you free yourself from the burden of shame and guilt that often fuels depression and anxiety. Start by practicing small acts of self-compassion daily. When you make a mistake, instead of berating yourself, say, "I'm doing the best I can. I am allowed to learn and grow." When you feel overwhelmed, instead of criticizing yourself for feeling weak, say, "It's okay to feel this way. I will take care of myself, and I will get through this." Self-compassion is not about excusing negative behavior. It's about acknowledging your imperfections without judgment and knowing that you are worthy of love and care regardless of your struggles. When you forgive yourself, you free yourself from the prison of guilt and shame. Anxiety often stems from worrying about the future, what might go wrong, what you can't control, and the fear of failure. Depression, on the other hand, tends to be rooted in regret and dwelling on the past. But the truth is, both are distractions from the only moment that truly matters, the present moment. Grounding yourself in the present is one of the most powerful tools for combating both anxiety and depression. It's about taking a break from the overwhelming flood of thoughts and refocusing your attention on what's happening right now. This is where mindfulness practices, such as deep breathing, meditation, or simply observing your surroundings, can be transformative. When you feel anxiety creeping in, try the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. Look around and identify 5 things you can see. Acknowledge 4 things you can feel. Listen for 3 things you can hear. Identify 2 things you can smell. Focus on 1 thing you can taste. This simple technique helps you reconnect to the present and disengage from the spiral of anxious thoughts. When you're deep in anxiety or depression, it can feel like everything is impossible. Your goals, dreams, and even daily tasks may feel overwhelming. The key to rising out of this darkness is to start small. Set small, achievable goals that give you a sense of purpose and accomplishment. These could be as simple as getting out of bed at a certain time, taking a short walk, or journaling for 5 minutes. Each small victory, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a step forward in changing your perception of yourself. By accomplishing these small goals, you begin to rebuild your confidence and realize that you are capable of overcoming challenges, no matter how big they may seem. You don't have to go through this alone. Often, anxiety and depression thrive in isolation, feeding on loneliness and the belief that you're the only one struggling. But the truth is, you are not alone. Reach out to trusted friends, family, or a mental health professional. Sometimes, just having someone listen can make all the difference. If that feels too difficult, consider joining support groups or seeking online communities where people are going through similar experiences. You deserve to be seen, heard, and supported. You are never alone in your suffering. Anxiety and depression are heavy, but they are not permanent. By changing how you perceive yourself, practicing self-compassion, grounding yourself in the present, setting small goals, and seeking support, you can transform your relationship with these emotions. You are not stuck in a cycle of despair. You are capable of healing, growth, and strength. This journey won't happen overnight, and that's okay. Healing is a process, not a destination. With every small step, you move further away from the darkness and closer to the person you are meant to be. Remember, you are worthy of peace, and you have the power to create it within yourself.